everybody, to another episode of
Yeah.
Three Bros and a Mic.
You know what it is.
What's up?
Hey, you know what it is. Like Big Zay said, man, we got Zay, J Mac, Mark,
Yes, sir.
Mike, and we are Three Bros and a Mic, man. And today's episode, man, I'm gonna pass it over to Big Mark, man. Get your pen and paper
All right,
ready.
what we talking about, man?
Yeah.
What we talking about, man?
All right, yeah, I was talking about the vibes. Okay,
Vibes.
are you giving off what you asking for, right? What you want to receive, right?
Woo-hoo.
Think about it, that's heavy in itself. You know how many? And when I saw this, saw a couple videos just floating around Facebook, YouTube, social media, period, where how many times, especially being in Atlanta in the A, where we see a lot of women complaining about the epidemic that is dating. Right, trying to find a man, find a good black man or whatever have you.
Right.
It's not that many out there, what about the flip side of that? All this stuff that you asking for, begging for, it's on your wish list.
Right.
Are your vibes getting off what you asking for? What you want to receive?
Yeah, that's real.
I mean,
that's real.
what y'all think about it? Man?
I mean, I hate making this reference. Rest in peace to him, but this seemed to have been a very, very controversial, but hot topic that Kevin Samuels would address. You know what I'm saying, with a lot of his callers. Basically, the premise being, you have all of these expectations of what you want and who you want, how you want it, when you want it, but you're not able to reciprocate. And it came off very brash and very blunt. In some cases, it may have been a bit extreme, but I think the fundamental gist of it was still very solid.
You looked at the content, right?
Yeah. When you look past, some of the condescending, delivery maybe or whatever, but he was still very real with it, right?
He was raw.
He was raw, very raw. But I couldn't agree anymore. I think that's just, some people they choose to want more than what they are willing to put out, and I don't think that's how the universe is set up.
You said something right there, Mike. But I guess I'm also thinking about on the helping tip. Mm-hmm. I think it helps if you have somebody in your corner who can point that out to you.
Right.
Yeah. Like you say, it don't have to be a spouse. I'm talking about friends, family, somebody you can trust. You say every time we get together, man, I want me a man, or I want me a wife or a lady, somebody I can settle down with, or I want that new job. Do you have a friend who can call you out and be like, you know what? You say you want this, but look what you're doing. But then take that criticism positively.
Constructively.
Right, thank you. Constructively. Because a lot of people can get really sensitive about you calling them out on something that they're trying to work on. But if you know that person, and you know their makeup, and you know, like, it's coming from a good place.
Yeah, 100%.
Because, I think I benefit more from somebody who is where I'm trying to be. And see what they've gone through, so that when they come to me with their criticism, I'm gonna listen. Because I want to be like, for me, I'm an ETS in Atlanta Public Schools. Mm-hmm. I want that position, so the person that I'm listening to is there already, and they're calling me out. I'm like, yo, you want to do that? Well, you got to go do this at this conference. I'm like, man, I don't want to do that. I want to do this. You're like, well, obviously you don't want this job. Like, I'm trying to give you the blueprint. Thank you. I'm giving you the blueprint on how to get there. But are you willing? Are you capable? Are you talking the talk and walking the walk? I think that's in any situation. Like, you want that job. Are you willing and capable of doing the sacrifice to get that job? Same with the wife, same with the husband. Believe it or not, you had to do a lot of sacrifice to get the wife that you have.
Sometimes unknowingly, right? You don't think about it like that, but,
So you got to put in the work. And that's what I get from what Mark is saying, man. Are you putting out what you want to receive? Are you putting in the work? Because it's not. I know it looks like on TV that we always see on TV the end result.
It's easy.
We see like, oh man, that's all they had to do to get. Like, that's all Melo had to do to get Lala. That's all whoever had to get whoever they got. But you weren't there behind the cameras, going through the trenches. What it took for each one of them to sacrifice to get. An old proverb would illustrate how you see the tree, you see its beautiful branches and the fruit and the leaves and how it flourishes, but nobody ever really takes the time to think through or investigate all the roots that are under the ground and how it started, and all that it took to get to that.
Water.
But can you appreciate? I know you can appreciate the success when you go through the trenches.
Even more so.
But can you still appreciate it when you got it easy?
Nah.
Not even a little bit.
You may not take it for granted, but I don't know that like you can't appreciate it the same way. You can appreciate anything, right? It's just no way that it could be appreciated the same way. It's just absolutely no way. Anything worth having is worth fighting for.
Working for
everything worth having is worth fighting for working for.
Is that in every situation?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think anything like can be ever handed to anybody without them, understanding that or appreciating it the same way, juxtaposed to like them having to get it themselves or work through it or work for it themselves. But we're in a society right now where inside and outside of relationships, people just want. And they don't really look at how, they can reciprocate the same level of quality that they want. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not expected to put out themselves. Right. And that's just a very unfair, it's an unfair expectation to have,
Right. So, I see people all the time, man. They have these lists or the expectations. Yeah. You want somebody that's 6'4" and, 175 ripped up, right? But you're not keeping up with your personal health and stuff like that. Right. So I mean, is it like realistic for you to have those? You want what you want. The heart wants what it wants, but then you have to do some self-reflection and then look at yourself too. Are you putting out the vibes to attract those type people as well? Like Mark said, man.
Because and I don't blame anybody for having like a desire or an expectation, right? So
standards. It's okay to have standards. Right. We break it down. It's all standards, right?
Right. Yeah.
But my thing with that is that if that standard comes with like work, so if you do want that ripped chisel, that like people aren't just born that way, right? So that person put in time and work to have that outcome. So if that's something that you desire, I applaud that standard. Right. But then also look at yourself, like, do you share a similar work ethic as it relates to?
Are you in that gym every day?
Right. Yeah.
Right.
On that constant diet.
Yeah. You like me. You want a late night ice cream snack at
10:30. Ain't no wrong with that.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So
ice cream
are you gonna be committed to the process when you can't have that ice cream sandwich?
Right.
I just think like Zay, you've been promoted in your job, right? So could you, if they presented you that promotion without you putting in the hard work, would you still appreciate it?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. But then you in the back of your mind, it was just like some people have a pride. Mine would be like, you know what? I got this job now, but I didn't have to go and I didn't grind for it. It was given to me.
Man.
So it just would kind of like mess with me in that instance.
But many others would say, hey, that's how they get it anyway.
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if it's that easy for them, why can't we get a hand up sometimes?
Facts,
But some people, some people are kind of complacent about it. Like, look at like a lot of these like support players and bench players that have, being able to benefit from, the backs and the labors of like some of these star athletes, all-star players and, these top fives, and, if they win a chip, like they still claim the same accolade. They still carry the same, ring and the same hardware.
It's true.
Right.
Well, see, and I'm glad you brought that up, but that was two things that popped in my head. One was that thinking about on a team perspective.
Yeah. Right.
Let's say right now, I'm gonna go ahead and give it to Mike.
My man, come on.
He's Kobe.
Know.
Right.
He's Kobe. Right. And well, let's say we're all in the Lakers.
Right.
He's Kobe. We know what Kobe do.
Right.
We know what Kobe's all about. Let's say we're the bench players.
Right.
We ain't never seen a dime a minute on the court.
Yeah.
But we riding the coattail of Kobe.
Right. We in there with the gym.
Kwame Brown.
We got
Smush Parker.
Right, Smush Parker. We got 5 of them things.
Right. Dingo.
Right. Yeah, man.
We got 5 of them things. Right.
Right. Chris Mim.
Do you?
Right.
Oh man! What he said, Chris? Hey, shout out to you, Chris. Man, wherever you at out there, man.
To the league.
Yeah. Do you at all? In all honesty, Mark, Zay, not Kobe, but Mark, Zay, and me. You get that ring,
right?
How appreciative are you of it, though? Really?
I'm very appreciative because I had to go against Mark every day in practice. I had to go against Kobe.
Yeah, that's right.
He was probably punishing me every day in practice.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
You stand right. Look, stand your ass right there.
That's a different.
Take this charge right here,
fight though, man. Right. I mean, so you're appreciative of being a Laker or being on the team,
right,
and being challenged, but you weren't You weren't to compete,
right?
You weren't up against the competition,
right?
You know what I'm saying, to win that. Well, I don't.
Right.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, we still playing a part of the process,
right?
You know what I'm
right.
How you go,
bro? The B team important too,
right?
Yeah, you're right because they got
because without a B team, you know, what I'm saying, you don't have no steady, competition to practice with.
Internal competition,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna say this. I know you're probably not gonna believe me, man, but there was a situation I read somewhere where there was a promotion that was coming up at some law firm, and 2 people were up for it. But one person turned it down and gave it to the other person because they had seen what they had, the work that they put in.
Wow.
And
That's noble.
And they said that I'm not there yet.
Oh, wow.
Like, they knew that about themselves. Like, you know what? I haven't put in the time nor the work to receive what you're talking about, receive what I want.
Right.
Like, that's noble. Can y'all do that?
Do you see y'all know this might be a little bit out there, but did y'all ever see that commercial where it's like a basketball game? And it was like a championship game or whatever the situation may be. So the ref was like, it went off on Mark's team, but it was actually went out on J Mac's team. So the dude was like, no, it went off on me. You know what I'm saying? And I was always thought like, man, this is the craziest. Who's going to actually say, in a championship game, the ball actually went off of me instead of the other team? But sometimes you have people that are just like that noble to go back to what you were saying, Jimmy. That kind of veered off to get back to there. Some people will do that. They realize, like, look, Mike deserved this promotion more than me. They put me in this position. I'm not really worthy of the position, and he's going to be a better fit for it. So it is people out there like that.
I'll do you one better. Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Was it at Kansas City Chiefs? I want to say it was Hardeman. It was one of the wide receivers. They already had the game on lock. He had the football. Mahomes threw him the ball on a slant, wide open for a touchdown. He slid out of bounds instead of going for the touchdown. He said for the fact that why, I want a ring. Do I want the ring and do it respectfully?
Right.
Or
you want the highlight?
Or do I want the highlight for myself?
Right. Fact.
You get what I'm saying?
That stat,
right. Yeah.
Like, that's a noble thing to do.
Right.
Like, or do I want to help out my fantasy? My fantasy points or whatever the case may be. Like, that to me is like a character trait that a lot of people don't have. Like, to think higher of yourself.
Yeah. Right.
Like,
selfless.
Selfless. Like, I think that's one thing you got to have if you want to receive what you want, that vibe.
Yeah.
Like, yes, it does warrant sometimes to be selfish.
Right.
To get what you want.
Of course.
You got to be selfish at some point. But I think in order to get to where you want to be, you got to be unselfish in a lot of it.
Right. You think them CEOs and stuff like that agree with you, J Man? CFOs and CEOs of companies?
Nah.
But how do they get there?
Right. I don't think so.
Ruthlessness, man.
I think they're so far removed, bro. From the days, like they don't understand the grind, man.
So Jermaine Dupri is a bona fide CEO.
Right.
Well, that's different.
He's helped people along.
That's different.
The way to become a CEO.
But I'm talking about ones like these Fortune 500 companies, Jimmy Mack.
Well, not all of them. The ones that actually didn't go through that journey to put the time in.
Facts. Yeah.
Let's be real. Half of them,
some of them inherited.
Right. Exactly.
There's some who literally went through the trenches.
Right. Family business.
I just think anybody who's truly successful.
Right.
Meaning that, because there are a lot of Fortune 500 folks that got all that money in the world, but they ain't happy.
Right. Yeah.
They're not happy with themselves.
Right.
You got a lot of them who are successful, and you can see true happiness.
Right. Yeah.
Because they've helped people along the way that have helped them.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because they understood that success doesn't bring happiness.
Exactly.
They don't go hand in hand all the time. Right.
What's that movie, man? It still breaks me down.
Pursuit of
Happiness.
Will Smith.
Yeah, man. Right, man. Golly. So exactly, man.
That's what it's all about, man. I know this world don't want to speak on it, preach on it, or talk about it, man. But true success, man, like that vibe that you want, what you want to receive, I promise you, you go back and help somebody else along the way. And watch, I'm telling you, man, watch how the universe works.
Yeah.
Right.
So what have y'all been seeing, man, I guess, like, in with friends and family or in your own personal lives as far as, like, this whole vibe things? Like, or what have y'all heard? Like, have there been any extreme cases where you hearing of how, hey, like, this guy I met, he's expecting me to do this, and that brother don't even do this, or this girl I met, she's expecting me to make X amount, and she's expecting me to take care of her in this manner or form, but she don't even take care of her, or her previous ex or boyfriend or whatever don't take care in that manner. So, what type of feedback have y'all heard or gotten out there recently or in the past, or anything you may have experienced?
I got.
Go ahead.
I thought you were gonna jump on.
No, go ahead. I'll jump in after.
I have a cousin, man, who works in a high position job, or at least I think it's a high position job, and she would talk about sometimes the things that she has to do unnecessarily, if that makes sense. Things that are not probably in her job description.
Okay.
And not understanding why I have to do X, Y, and Z when I know X, Y, A, B, and C can do it.
Right.
Why do they keep coming to me? And my response has always been like, be the master at what you're doing now.
Right.
Because do everything that you can now to master what you're doing now. Take all those little jobs.
Yeah.
Take everything that seems minute to you.
100%.
Take it, because all it's doing is building.
Yeah.
Right.
You can't worry about, and that's where the selfish part comes in. You can't worry about what everybody else is doing around you. Why they keep picking you. There's a reason. And yes, it will be revealed to you if it was, a negative thing or a positive thing. But to me, you get the experience out of it. So I feel like, being a spiritual guy, God put you there
for a reason.
He put you there to master what he has you doing.
Right.
And then he's going to promote you to something else. But he wants to see, can you handle this little thing that I got you doing? If you can't handle this little BS, then what makes you think I'm going to promote you to get something else?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you want what you want to receive, sometimes you got to get dirty.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to get down and do stuff that's beneath you.
Right.
Yeah.
In order to get where you want to go.
Sometimes it's just hard in those situations because if you feel like you're being taken advantage of, or like the higher ups are
getting overlooked all the time,
being opportunists and stretching you out more than what you really should be. But on the flip side of that coin, like you said, J Mac, is these are all experiences and things that you're putting underneath your belt. For something greater, something better. So,
for sure, man, for sure.
I mean, but where else, like vibe wise, have y'all come across, where it's just not reciprocated, or the expectation is here, but like, the standard is here.
I mean, when friends from college, man, like they wanted that significant other, they wanted to settle down, but they still doing X, Y, and Z.
Yeah,
still like, okay, you want to find that dude. You're like, yo, James, help me out, man. Like, I need to find a dude, but you still are upset with why guys treat you the way they do.
Yeah.
But then I'm telling you, like, look at your appearance.
Look at the mirror.
Not trying to demean you,
right? Anyway,
or anything like that, or degrade you, or anything like that. But if you want the right guy, I'm not saying it happens every time, but if you want the right experience and the right conversation with a guy, you have to present yourself to me in a way that's presentable. Because when I see it in college, if I saw a female coming around me or talking to me half naked, I'm not trying to have a civil conversation or I'm not thinking about, hey, let's talk about class today.
Yeah, nah.
You know what I'm saying? I know what you want to
be
talk
class
about.
without the CL.
Right.
What's up with that?
If I see you come in and you looking real jazzy and snazzy, but you're not revealing yourself, it's a different tone you have.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like, you gotta, what you want, you have to present yourself that way. Like if you want to be a first lady, I don't know why First Lady Obama came in my mind.
Right.
You see how she presents herself.
Right. Yeah.
If you want to be that CEO, Fortune 500, you can't be out here all night long doing what John Moran did.
Right.
You can't be doing that.
Yeah, there's power in presentation.
Right. Mark, man, you got this issue, man. I got frat brothers and stuff like that still operate like we undergrad. It's still and now they talking about they want a wife and stuff like that. But bro, you come on, man. We how many years removed from being on campus and you still you still in the club, you still doing this.
Wow.
I'm like, come on, man. The like Mark said and Mike said, man, the vibes, man, like you saying that you want this, man, but your actions are speaking totally different, bro. You still drinking all day, you out in these clubs every weekend, doing all this, man, but you say you want to attract a wife? I don't know, bro.
So where do cats get the notion that that's okay, though? You know what I'm saying? Like, where I can live this way, but, you know what I'm saying, I can have an expectation of somebody to be better. And, like, it's just going to happen to fall. Like, is that happening? Like, you seeing that stuff land for people?
Yeah, or for somebody that has expectation that has no expectation necessarily for how they move. but you know who they're looking for. Expectations, right? They're expecting somebody to look past all their nonsense,
right? Yeah,
to accept me for what I'm giving you,
right?
But no, but you can't do none of this though,
right?
You got to be up here. That's great. Every day, bro.
Right.
Every day, every day.
Television has a profound effect on all that because a lot of people depend upon. I kid you not, depend upon the success of their celebrities that they love.
Right.
So, like, if they see their celebrity from Real Housewives, you know, who she can look like this and still pull a man like this.
Yeah. Right.
That means that I can do that too.
Oh,
that ain't real, man. That ain't real life, man.
But it's real. But it's real in the terms of that's how they think.
Yeah.
And we talking about grown women.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Grown women. And no shade. Guys are like that too. If the guy, you know, whatever your favorite, you know, actor or basketball sports celebrity is, you see them, you know, one way, and then you see how they live in outside of their workplace. You're like, yo, he can do all that and that. I'm gonna do that too, but you're not on
that level.
You're not on that level,
right?
Like you don't know what happens when the cameras are off,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Day to day, man.
You don't know, man. Like it's
Let me put y'all on the hot seat though, right? None of us are you know above you know. Reproach and you know we're not self-righteous, right? So like has there been or is there you know a vibe or an expectation that you have of somebody, whether it's a boss, a spouse, a family member, that you have of somebody that you don't necessarily like maintain or subscribe to yourself?
Oh man,
yeah, I got a coworker. You know, we all work in the same tech field, man. So I don't subscribe to her energy. You know, it's just, you know, we all know, you know, any job you have your rules, you have your expectations, and what you're supposed to do, and she goes about it her way and does it her way, and it's like, but you see, even if you call her out on it or tell her like, you know, we have to turn in data, you see the data ain't matching, you know, this vibe that you got. Call her out on it and try to help her turn, you know, like, nah, don't do it like that. Do it like this. Like, we're trying to help you so our department can look good. And you still define, like, no, it's just going back to gaslighting. Like, you're blaming everybody else for your mishap. Right. So, I mean, I definitely see it in the workplace. Like, just... Yeah, man, the vibes, man, it's real, especially in the workforce for me.
Yeah. What about you, Mark, Zay? Any vibes or expectations that y'all may have of maybe even your spouse that you just like, well, you know, I expect her to do that, but you know, I may like, you know, slack off a little bit, or that I may not be as consistent with that, you know, in particular, you know.
I think in general, not me specifically. Like I guess me specifically too, but in general, I think guys, as we age, you know, we say, hey, we want our ladies, our women to, you know, stay in shape. Keep that body like it was like I met you back in school.
That's a good one.
But we you know, nah, I ain't gotta work. I'm good, man. I still look good. You know what I'm saying? You know, so I think double that is a crazy double standard imbalance. So we have expectations on our wives to maintain whatever our vision that they were or that they should still be. But we have no vision for ourselves. Right? We don't, you know what I'm saying? So definitely.
Yeah, that's a good one. One for me, I think, is like the turn up, right? So I think, you know, I have this expectation that, you know, I don't want my spouse to be as turned as me, particularly like with alcohol, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay for me to like, you know, still have, you know, a couple like
drinks, a couple nights where
it's like, you know, damn, you know, that's lit, right? Like, but you know, I don't.
What's the turn off for your ladies?
Yeah, I don't want to, you know, I don't want to see that.
Get a little slizzy over there.
So it's a double standard, but it's a real thing. Where it's just like that's right
now. Yeah, like I tend to agree with you on that, baby.
It's okay. It's okay for me to have.
It's not sex. Not a good look.
Right. Stumbling in, but you know, right.
But me on the other hand, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean, and it may not exist, you know, but, you know, I just thought it'd be interesting to see, put everybody on the hot seat, see if there's anything that, you know, we might be guilty of ourselves, you know?
Right.
But it's just like, I mean, I'm thinking about the workforce example that I gave.
Yeah.
It's just like when you're working on a team and you have expectations.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you hear that your teammates want to elevate. They want to promote themselves. But you see that they're not doing it to their full potential.
Right.
And you want to call them out on it, then they throw it back. It was easy for you to say because you got
Yeah.
You know, X, Y, Z. It's like, don't throw the dirt back at me.
Right, yeah. I'm just trying to help you.
I'm trying to help you out because you're trying to get somewhere that I don't want to go.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you want to move up here. Well, let me hey, I can help you.
Right.
But in order for me to help you, you got to be open
To the help.
to the criticism. You got to be open to being vulnerable.
Right.
And if that's not the case, then I wouldn't say a thing.
The thing, yeah. Would y'all, and this might tie into the red flags discussion a couple episodes back, but would y'all say like there's an expectation that a young lady may have of you, or a boss may have of you, or a friend may have of you that is super high or maybe like out your league, but you know they also are able to commit to that expectation for themselves? So like an example would be like, I want you to, do a shopping spree, day, once a year at Lennox, or Phipps. But I could also I can do that for you myself as well. Wow. That's good. Like, is there anything where it's just like, I mean, yeah, so the playing field and the vibes are equal, they're level, but and that's why I kind of tied in the whole red flag thing. But is there anything that you can think of where it's just like, for me, the example I gave would be one, where it's just like, whether you could do it for yourself or not, it's just kind of out my league, and not it'll be a red flag, whether you can. I understand that that's your expectation of a man that you want and that you want to date. And I understand that that's something that you can also provide for yourself, right. But however,
I'm willing to help you.
I already know where this is going.
Follow me though. I'm willing, if I know your destination.
Okay.
Well, how do you know that though?
I'm saying we had conversation.
Okay. Someone just told you. Okay.
Yeah, you told me where you're trying to go.
Right.
And the location, the destination you're trying to get, and every stop the checkpoints that you have to get there.
Right.
I know that I'm willing to help you. I'm willing to help you out. But again, to your point, don't think for 1 second that I'm going to do this whole thing for you. Because again, going back to vibes, what are you doing to set yourself up to receive what you are putting out there?
What you're asking for.
You put it out. I'm a believer. You speak it. Speak out to the universe, man. Speak it to your Lord and Savior, whoever you believe in. Positivity has an effect. Positive thinking, positive mindset. So if you're trying to be this big CEO, Fortune 500, but you're always dependent on me to help you, I don't see where the experience is coming in, the grind is coming in for you, because you're constantly leaning on me to help you out. When are you going to put forth the effort?
Right.
When are you going to show me that you want this? Because it's making it seem like only I want this.
Right.
And I don't even want to be a CEO. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, yeah.
I guess, Mike, what you're saying is before in my old job, I was trying to become a supervisor. I had somebody that would mentor me and show me all the ropes and stuff like that. At first, I was kind of resistant to it because he had packets and all these different things that I needed to do and videos I needed to watch. I went up for the job. I was like, I got this, man. I'm Z-Miley, man. I'm doing all this, man. Denied. Didn't work, you know what I mean? So then I had to humble myself and come back to it. It was like, are you willing to show me the things that, before you were willing to show? And that person was gracious enough to continue to want to help me. So to piggyback off what Jimmy Mack said, you have to be able to do some self-reflection and be humble enough to be able to receive the information and not think that you're, like you said, beyond reproach, or to think that you can handle this on your own. Sometimes you need help. Yeah. Sometimes you know somebody's going to have to help you along the way to get to where you need to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the vibes that I was putting out was I got this. I'm that guy.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But when it came down to it, I didn't have the tools to, complete the process. So I had to humble myself, go back in my process and get the tools that I needed to be able to get the position that I wanted.
That's it.
And when you say that, I thought about my first experience in my job, my new job that I had. I had my first big presentation, and I had that same mentality. Oh, they hired me, so they know I'm good.
You had nothing else to prove to them.
Right. I got up there in front of all the other ones that are just as good as me in this department, and I failed miserably. Just with trying to show what I know, and it was like nobody was paying attention. Like, oh, we know that. I'm thinking I'm coming with something hot off the press, as far as technology, and they're like, "Oh, we already know that." So that put me in my place real quick. It was like, "Oh, these people are way ahead of me." Like what I think I know, they know 4 times that, 4 times that much. So, and then it took my boss, who I'm very thankful for. It was like, "You got to study." You got to research. You got to open your mouth. You got to ask questions. You got to get with these other people in here you don't know and say, "Yo, where'd you find this information at?" If you want to be in this job and propel yourself, you got to work with other people. So, and I think that kind of is in every kind of aspect of your life. If you want to I think it's all about conversations and relationships.
100%.
Like, if you want to be that person who will be on the top of the food chain, relationships. How do I get to where you are? You know, I'm pretty sure B. Diddy. Who did he have?
Big Clyde, didn't he?
No,
Harrell.
Oh, okay. He talking about.
He talked to Andre Harrell.
Okay.
He watched him.
Yeah.
And then when he took the blueprint and made him look what he is now. It's the same with DJ Khaled. The same with Jay-Z.
A lot of people.
All these megastars, they look to somebody else. And I guarantee you, they had no shame in asking. And I think that it goes back to egos. A lot of people don't want to ask because they want to figure it out themselves, or they feel so entitled that it should be handed to them because of who I am or for what I am. Or do you know who my family is? You know, I got that. Man, as a Wilborn, that thing. Do you know who my grandfather is? He's the minister of this church. Like, I'm supposed to be getting some kind of clout because of that. That happened in Morehouse. I kid you not. I told him I don't want no special treatment. He's like, "Yo, Wilborn, oh, so you're such and such." My grandfather's in the King's Chapel, like, Hall of Fame. Like, he's up on. They got a mural of him. He's up there with the greats. So they see my name, like, "Oh, you're. Oh, well, give him. No. That's not what I'm trying to be. You see what I'm saying? But some people say, "Yo, you stupid."
But not taking that.
But that's not my passion. It's just like, Mike, want me to be a minister? No. That ain't my ministry.
That's not your calling,
right? I know my calling. Right now, as of right now, I know what my calling is. You know, all of us, I think, if we don't know our calling, we're working towards that. And any given moment, it can pivot.
It could. It could change,
all the time.
So something could be added to the plate.
Exactly.
Hey, look, I believe that there's some listeners out there, or if it ain't listeners, a listener who is probably listening to this and is saying, "You know what? You know, I'm looking at myself, doing some self-reflection, and I do have like very high unrealistic expectations from a vibe perspective of others, my jobs, or, you know, my spouse, and, you know, those are things that I can't even hold myself accountable to." So if there was any words of wisdom or any words for somebody that is like listening and saying to themselves, "Look, I want to, like, you know, change my way of thinking or better myself, or you know, get to an even playing field where these expectations that I have of other people, I want to be able to do for myself, or vice versa. What I'm able to do for myself, I want to be able to, like, you know, mirror that for, you know, the expectation I may have for someone else." So any words of wisdom or any tidbits y'all can give to anybody out there that's listening and saying, "Look, man, I want to, you know, I hear what y'all talking about. It sounds like me. I sound like I'm in that boat, but, you know, what can I do? What's some advice you can give me to, you know, clean that up a little?"
Man, sound like you preaching to them already, man. You know, just some self-reflection. And you're open to it, and you willing to put in the work, or you willing to, you know, figure out how you can achieve that level of whatever the vibes you're trying to put out to attract whatever it be, that new job, that new love, interest, whatever that may be in your life, man. Just be able to figure out the path best for you, whether it's, you know, you got a mentor or you got some people in your camp that you're close with that can help you along that path. And just, you know, just be open to the process and be humble.
Mark, what you think, man?
Bro, be real. Be truthful about yourself. When you're honest about your approach, about where you're coming from and where you want to go, then that allows other people to see, you know, how vulnerable you really are, right? To be able to, because I'm a big proponent of again now asking for help, because in my 20s I was one of those guys who thought he was that guy. Like I'm like, what I know you can't teach. What my intangibles are ridiculous.
Yeah,
right. Like, so I know I got that job, but you look back and say, bro, I took twice as long to get to where I am because I didn't ask for help.
It is.
So it's real, man. Just humble yourself.
Yeah,
no doubt.
No doubt. Put a bow on it, Jimmy.
Be aware.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Be aware.
Self-aware.
RTR, man. Read the room.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times the blessing that you want could be right in front of your face.
Right.
But if you don't get yourself out of the way, you'll miss it.
Yeah.
Right.
Like you want that position, a person who can help you get it is probably sitting right there in that corner.
Right.
But you're not listening to their conversation.
Right.
And that's happened to me with this DJing thing. Opportunities have come, too scared to say anything because I wanted to come to me. Like I wanted to come to me, like you need me, kind of thing. Versus me coming to you. And so when I got that out of my head, because I had people in my corner who would do that. Now when I hear people say over here and stuff like, yo, I need a DJ, I'm stepping right up.
Right.
Versus in the past, I'm like, oh well, they see me, kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think a lot of us are all guilty of that. But I would say be aware of your surroundings, read the room. Because a lot of times what we're looking for is right there.
Boom.
Well stated, man.
Boom.
Well stated.
Yeah, man. Mike, wrap it up, man.
Hey, look, you know what I'm saying? Like that was packed, man. I enjoyed it, fellas. As always, I enjoy y'all's company. Y'all are great. At this point, mentors in certain aspects, man. But like, the feedback is real. The feedback is awesome.
Right.
All love.
Great episode. So shout out to everybody that's supporting us. Shout out to all of y'all that's viewing, that's watching. Man. Of course, please like, subscribe, leave a comment. You know what I'm saying? 3 Bros in the Mic. Follow us. All of our.
Let us know what y'all want to talk about. What y'all want to hear.
Man, leave us a message. We love that too,
you know what I'm saying? Y'all know we trying and we still trying to build this thing up. So we appreciate everybody that's been supporting us along the way. Shout out to Vaughn, who's on a few of our episodes in the past, and everybody else. If you would like to be a guest, you know what I'm saying, email us at 3brosinthemic@gmail.com. I believe 3 Bros in the Mic. 3 Bros 1 Mic. Excuse me.
The number one.
Right. 3 Bros 1 Mic at gmail.com. Holla at us and come be a guest, man. We would love to hear from y'all. But love y'all. Appreciate y'all, fellas. We signing out.
We out of here.
3 Bros in the Mic.
Next time.